the most costly mistake you can make. And also, no one but you can really access it. If that paper's lost, you're done. So if you're reading along, you're like, no, I put all the information in my day planner. When it runs out, I start a new one, and I don't lose any of them. You are following the attitude of people who don't sign up in the first 1 to 4 weeks never will. You're just cutting off leads you shouldn't be cutting off. Not communicating with leads on an ongoing basis. If you're not doing that, you're basically stating, hey, if you don't have money for me right away, I don't want to talk to you. All right? Also, not taking the time to analyze why they do eventually sign up, and then looking for trends based on their age and their interest points. I mean, if you keep in touch with people who don't sign up in the first month, and then when they actually do sign up, because some of them will, if at the point they sign up, you don't take a look and say, okay, what age group are they in? What was the initial interest that they had in my school? What program was it? And try and find trends for, the last 6 months worth, the other leads that took longer than a month. Then you're basically saying, hey, in general, these leads don't sign up enough for me to pay attention. Okay, sorry, I had my sound cut out there. Not sure where you lost me. Whereabouts did we get cut out there? And I'll quickly go back. Oh, okay, after juice spilled, you're done. Thank you, guys. All right, so not communicating with your leads on an ongoing basis. If you're not communicating with them on an ongoing basis, you're basically saying they're never going to sign up. Also, if you're not taking the time to analyze why they do eventually sign up and you look for the trends based on their age and their interest points, it's another way of saying this isn't worth knowing about. It is worth knowing about. People who sign up after 1 to 4 weeks, we have to know what are the trends so we can start to build a better process and optimize, ensuring that happens more often. If you don't do that, you're essentially saying to yourself, it doesn't happen enough to care. All right? Okay, next. A big pitfall. Judging old leads. Here's my quote. Oh, that guy. They'll never sign up. You're judging them based on just their name and maybe a really vague memory, and a lot of us do it. We don't call these types of leads. We kind of just let them be. End result, let's not bother trying to get them to come in. Usually, this happens the most when there are no logs about them, meaning you didn't store any info, you don't have any clues as to who they originally were, and you're just saying, oh, that guy, he came in, he tried to listen. I'm not sure really why he didn't sign up, but he's never going to sign up anyway. Don't judge leads. You never know who your hottest lead will be. Honestly, I just talked to some of my sales guys about this yesterday, and they admitted there were some leads that they were looking at, and they honestly thought that they had zero interest. They called them, the guy was ready to go. When there are logs, meaning records of the interactions between you and those leads, you can look for clues you may have missed to try another approach the next time, or at least try any approach. So don't judge those leads. And I'm just going to leave you with one thing here. People who do this, meaning judge leads and don't contact the ones that they generated a long time ago because for whatever reason, okay, they are forgetting how much energy was required to generate that lead. Think of how much effort you put in to making that phone ring or making that web lead get generated from your site or having that person walk in. Think of all those hours you sat at the print shop and they did the flyer wrong the first time and you had to sit there and you worked out a deal to get it printed a second time for cheap. All those efforts, I don't need to list them. You guys know what's up. It takes a lot of energy and sometimes a lot of money to generate a lead. So when you have one sitting there, don't ever judge it. Keep contacting it. Keep seeing if you can find an approach to bring them in. Please think this way. Okay, next pitfall. If they are interested in training, they will call or come in, okay? Let me phrase this another way. I don't want to work with people who aren't interested in coming in. If they want to train, they'll come to me. Well, I had to put these photos up here. I put a photo up with a bunch of trophies. So we've got one of those instructors who is obviously well outfitted with success in their life. And they think that this success equals a magnet that will bring students down to them. And if they don't want to train with him, then or her, sorry, then there must be something wrong with them. They're never going to come in. I don't care. This is a great attitude, ladies and gentlemen, for going broke. It's similar to the attitude, I'm the most credible martial arts person in my area. Anyone wanting to learn will want to learn from me. Okay. Sorry, no offense. We, the public, don't care. There's a possibility we will care if we go to another school and have a bad experience with the instruction. We might say, okay, well, maybe this guy's a better instructor or this lady is a better instructor. We might eventually land on you. But chances are if we had a bad experience at one school, your credibility doesn't mean anything to me. I'm going to try a new activity anyway. I might just say in general, martial arts is not for me. It is our commitment, our burden, our job, whatever you want to call it, to do everything possible to reach out to anyone with a heartbeat and a mild interest in martial arts consistently until they express they aren't interested in martial arts. Why is it our commitment? Because we said as instructors, we want to change lives. We want to affect the community. Act like it. Do everything you can to reach out to people who, at one point or another, had even a mild interest. You'd be surprised how they can get nurtured and warmed up to the idea of actually taking the step later. Also, you'll enjoy more financial success while you improve more lives around you. So if you think it this way, hide those trophies or do whatever you need to do to reverse the attitude if it's something that you're guilty of, and be honest with yourself. One pitfall I skip before I go to the next section. I skip this because I assume everybody here is recording the individuality of each lead you generate. What I mean by the individuality or their uniqueness, their age, their interests, previous experience, have they trained in anything, or did they do any other activities that might correlate with martial arts that'll help you learn how you could get them involved? How did they hear of you? And of course, when did they first make contact with you? How did they first make contact with you? Please make sure you are not in the pitfall of not knowing these things about every single lead you ever generate, okay? Okay, so we've gone through steps 1 and 2. Step 3, getting your front desk on board. Typical scenarios here with the front desk. All the important information this person could extract in advance of the first appointment is usually left to the instructor in some crummy guest form when they come in. That does not help me. I'm about to conduct an appointment with somebody I've never met. In the first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to hand them a piece of paper and tell them, please fill out this information and tell me a little bit more about yourself. Okay, that's cool, but imagine that was done already before they walked through the door. Oh, hey, how you doing, Johnny? I can go right into it. So you used to train over here, or whatever the case may be, right? So why did they do this? Why, if they know that it would make my life easier if I had that information in advance, why did they do this? Well, maybe they don't understand how helpful it would be to know in advance. What does that mean? We didn't communicate to them how helpful it would be. Also, they might not be concerned if leads do or don't show up for booked appointments. Why? It doesn't affect them. Okay? So think about that for a second. How committed is your front desk person right now to, first of all, getting all the information they can about someone in advance before they come down to the school? And secondly, how committed are they to making sure any booked appointment actually shows up? If you're not happy, I might have a solution that solves it all. Change how you pay them. Now, I did another webinar on pay structures. You might want to check out that recording. It should be in the YouTube channel. But essentially what we want to do is make a portion of their pay completely dependent on having completed information about the leads. And the leads have to show up for their appointments. If they show up for the appointments and all the info is there, we can pay them a little something. All right? No complete information, no pay. No show up, no pay. They will generate as much information as they can if it affects their pay, with or without your script that you give them. They will also do whatever possible to confirm all appointments and have those people show up. Of course they will. People are motivated by money. They will use the info generated to effectively communicate with the people who don't show up. What I'm saying is this. People don't show up to appointments. We know that. But if somebody else is concerned about that happening in our school other than you, what they're going to do is use the clues they got in the first interaction to find a crafty way to get the person to reschedule the appointment and come down. If they take care of this and you don't have to worry about it, imagine what that'll do for your school. An example pay structure I did here is just a little Excel sheet, the lead's name, the date that they showed up, who did the introductory appointment, or whatever you want to call it, the first lesson, the orientation. Did they sign up or not? If they sign up, what program? And there's a little commission calculator. Now this commission calculator, all it does is it simply pays them a dollar amount for each qualified lead that comes through the doors for an appointment. I actually don't worry about the front desk getting paid if they signed up or not. That's the second step. But the first step is helping them understand that they'll make more money if they help the school make more money. And you'll see there's little color-coded regions. As it goes down, the pay increases. Why? Because I don't want someone doing what I call